Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vase. Even though today's episode is going to focus a lot on traditional markets, only because so many interesting things are going on there. Not going to waste any time. Let's go right into screen share. I can do announcements all day. I'll probably, why can't I move this out of this monitor? Damn, it's killing me. Let me try something else. Screen share. I don't know why I can't move it out. Anyway, just an annoyance. You guys can't see it, but like if you use Zoom, you'll know. All right. Workshops. There's a workshop this Sunday. It's on risk and account management. In reality, maybe what I should have wrote is like risk and account management is 90% position sizing. So this entire webinar is going to mostly focus on the size of your position and the leverage of your position. That's what this webinar is going to be about. I will spend, try to spend most of my day tomorrow putting together, a good agenda. I've been thinking about it, making notes. It depends on, the people in the webinar, but that's what this is about. It's about the size of your position. It's about how much leverage to take on. That's what we're going to focus on in this webinar. My last in-person webinar, maybe not my last, but the only one on this list for the in-person webinar is going to be in Dallas, Texas in about 2 weeks, okay? A little less than 2 weeks, okay? I'll be in Dallas. I added somewhere in here, equity options webinar. This is going to be a 2-day webinar. It is going to be 7 hours each day for 2 days, like 2 full days. And I'm still afraid I'm not going to get it covered. I'm going to talk a little more about it, later. The price, not cheap. You can learn this for free, but this is how much I'm charging. I've been trading options for ever since I learned them, actually. In fact, I've spent more time trading options in my life than actual stocks. And, trading options is very risky. Like if 0.3 Bitcoin is too much or the cash equivalent to pay to learn to trade options, you shouldn't trade options. It really is that simple. You do get a discount if you've, participated in other workshops and stuff like that. So there is a discount. I think it's a 20% discount now. Lower the discount. It used to be 25, now it's 20. So not much of a difference. Should be 20% discount. Okay, let's my calendar. I finalized my calendar in my brain. I haven't told all of the conferences that I can't attend yet, but I will probably today or tomorrow. You know what? That's it, guys. If you want to support the free content, check out the affiliate page. If you want to actually support, come out to or check out the paid content, and all of these videos will be available on demand. Okay, let's talk about the price. Actually, I'm going to start with Willy Woo's chart. I'm keeping an eye on NVT signal. Maybe someone can put this together for TradingView or something as an indicator. Maybe I should do it, but I don't have the time. So I'm going to zoom in on this. Okay, so the NVT signal is sitting quite low, but the price is still sitting pretty high. So I want to see if this signal comes into the oversold area, because remember, it never actually made it to oversold, which I really wanted Willy to make at the 30-point area. The last time it made it there was back in February of last year. The NVT signal never even made it to oversold at the bottom of the price in December. Okay. Monthly chart, since the month has completed. On a monthly scale, we still have more upside. The monthly scale is on a green 6, and the 5 candle was a pullback candle. So that means the hardest candle to get is going to be the 8 candle, because the 8 candle has to close above the 4. The 9 candle only has to close above the 5, which is lower, right? So we'll keep an eye on this. The monthly chart based on sequential remains bullish on a 6 of 9. This is, I'm going to skip that one. My weekly chart. The price of Bitcoin is hovering at right above $10,000. We're going to go into the lower level time frame soon. We are back above the 38% Fibonacci, which is a good sign, but we are now below this moving average. The last time we had an entire candle close below this moving average was, back in February of this year, when the price was still in the $3,000 range. But that's not a great comparison, right? What you want to look at is what happened when this moving average was rising significantly and you had a full candle close below it. And no, those aren't really good comparisons, unfortunately. This moving average reacts fairly quickly. I'm looking at it now, so that doesn't really help us at all. Now, my concern remains, was this an exponential rise that has just topped? Okay, and if that's true, then there is a potential for an 80% correction. I would, for my HODL position, ideally I would want this thing to happen after a new all-time high, but nobody controls the markets. So what I can do here is, once again, remember the sequential tries to catch the tops. It also tries to help you when to enter, continuation trades. As a continuation trade, you're supposed to wait for a red number to trade below the prior red number. That did not happen on the red 2, and that did not happen on the red 3. So today's Friday. I mean, technically we can easily fall to below 9,300. So I'm going to leave my red line here for a minute. Do I need to refresh the chart? Is this not up to date? Oh yeah, it wasn't up to date. I see. Thank you. Thought the price fell down to 10.2. I would have recognized it once I got to the lower level time frames, but I guess my chart got stuck. Hey guys, I mean, this just shows you that I don't actively look at these markets all day, every day. That's not what I do. This is the first time I'm looking at a Bitcoin chart all day. And the only time I looked at it yesterday was on camera. I kind of pay attention to the price a little bit on my phone, but I don't actively sit at home and look at the charts. I'm pretty damn busy. And not with trading, clearly. So yeah, this candle is not bad. We're at 10.4. And what that means is this red line has to be moved up. So if the next candle trades below this red line at 9,300, and that's when a short trade is going to activate. The most likely outcome, however, is that the next candle next week will potentially price flip to a green 1. That means there is a bullish trade on the table if a green 2 starts going above that green 1. And we'll see. We can still go higher here. Anything can happen. But right now, my weekly chart is totally neutral. The daily chart is the very, very critical one. You are sitting right at very critical resistance. You can see that we just got rejected by the setup trend line. This is very, very common. It's very often that the trend line, rejects the price. This happened right here as well, back on July 2nd. And even though we broke setup trend, we didn't go straight down because we broke setup trend at the very end of the sequence, not at the beginning of the sequence. So right now, on a daily scale, we're being rejected by the 50-day moving average, which is critical, and the setup trend line, which is both critical. Now, this rejection could have been very well timed using the 12-hour chart, because once again, the 12-hour chart gave you a 9 sell on the current candle with 4 hours to go. Now, the last time the 12-hour chart had a sell indication, that took place right here at the very top of 13,000. And over the next week or so, we corrected, I don't know, a good 30% from 13,000 down to just above 9,000. Okay, so you want to take this kind of seriously. Now, this wasn't a real 9 because this 9 flipped during the candle. So there is no setup trend line in place here. If there was a setup trend line in place, that setup trend line would be right here. This is where the setup trend line would be if this actually completed the 9 and not price flip at the same time. And therefore, this setup trend line that would have been here would continue to be in place, and you can see how it rejected the price once, twice, 3 times, and this time we couldn't even make it there, okay? So I'm actually gonna leave this green line there because I like it, and I'm gonna move these arrows over. So I need us to break this line. This line is right above 11,000. So if we can break 11,000, I would then be looking for, potentially new highs. The odds favor a turn here, okay? I know the daily and weekly and monthly still do not look bearish, but the daily isn't a rejection with the reversal candle, and we have about 4 hours to go, okay? I do want to get to the stock market before the stock market closes, so this will be quick. The 4-hour chart broke its setup trend, being rejected by a moving average, coming up on a 9 soon, and a 13 is coming soon. So the 4-hour, though a 13 is going to be difficult to get, because if we did get rejected based on daily and 12-hour, then in order to get a 13 on a 4-hour, we need a new high. We need to get above this 8 candle on the countdown phase, and that's unlikely. The big drop, however, remains this red line. Going below this red line opens up, the floodgates to the downside. So that's what you don't want to cross. You don't even want to get near it. You don't want Bitcoin anywhere near 9,300, because if Bitcoin gets anywhere near 9,300, it's going to get ugly, and it's going to get ugly in a hurry. Okay, so pray that Bitcoin stays up and then approaches this purple line, and then we'll at 11,000, and then we'll evaluate it there. All right, that's it. This is, it was the hourly chart. So I've been watching the 15-minute chart, and somebody pointed out to me that the 15-minute chart has been amazing using the sequential, and you can see how the 15-minute chart reversed on a dime, right at a 9 on a 15-minute. And the reason it came up earlier this week when I was on Block TV, we were talking about how the 15-minute had a perfect buying opportunity right here, a perfect selling opportunity right there. This is when I was doing the show, another sell right there, another sell right here. Like it just had like beautiful selling, another sell right here, even though we did go higher after a 1 to 4 candle correction. And it did eventually get to a sequential 13, though obviously in a flat zone. And there haven't been any 9s on the, there was one here that did not reverse the price, kind of stayed flat for a while until it went up into a 13. This 9 did not reverse the price either. We were still in a countdown phase. We started a new countdown phase. The combo 13 completed way early off this 9. And but not every one of them is going to succeed, and but this one sure did, the most recent one. Yeah, I'll be in Azerbaijan. I don't really have any conferences there or anything like that, so yeah, I'm definitely will be looking for some good food and some good drinks. Okay. Well, Bitcoin dominance is rising again. Broke its setup trend. Assuming we close here, that's a good sign. If you're a Bitcoiner. Oh boy, look at Ethereum. Oh boy. Oh, you guys are in trouble. Well, you're not in total trouble. You're going to get a 9 next week, so potentially you can reverse and come back to this moving average, but your coin is done. Oh, I can't wait for this blockchain to just fucking die. Just put us all out of our misery. There goes Litecoin. So that's not good. Don't you guys have a halving like this week? So that's a bad sign for you if Litecoin is dropping. Yeah, I mean, if Litecoin is pushing new lows, I mean, especially against the dollar, you're in trouble on your halving. Oh yeah, we did a whole tribute to B-Trash. Oh, there you go. Yeah, not looking good either. Oh, you're almost about to be called C-Cash again. Instead of B-Cash, you're flirting with that 3% Mendoza line. God, this is such a disaster. All right, enough of this. I don't want to look at this anymore. We're going to close them. Save some room. We're going to close this one too. Ooh, you know what? I want to update this. Let's go to Grayscale GBTC. I need the premium. Grayscale. There's Grayscale. I need the premium as of August 1st. Beautiful. So this is going to be so up to date. What the hell was that? Anyway, doesn't matter. So I need Bitcoins per share. This is my custom formula, guys. This isn't public. I mean, maybe I can make it public, but I'm just like kind of busy. I had this as a single thing, but it wasn't as accurate. So I have to go here. All right, what's going on? Let me refresh. Here we go. So I need the new I need the new, it was 0.9808. Wow. This is the 2% annual decay. Okay. And that's what it is of the last day. But now I need the valuation month, which has just become August. No, July. July had 31 days. Right, so this is what we're working with. So you can see the line adjust a little bit maybe as I put it in. And now I have to do the same thing to the other line. So we are in July 31st, 2009, and now I need to change this to this. And you see that? Moved up a little bit, right? So this basically adjusts. It's custom. It's a custom indicator. Thank you. You know who you are. I'm going to call you V. You've been doing a lot of programming for me. Thank you so much, man, for helping code the latest changes in the sequential and helping me code the notification service, which I'm going to maybe talk about. So yeah, it's code. Like it's if you go to like Pine Editor, you know, oh, that didn't really work, did it? Boom. There it is, right? Anyway, so these are custom formulas in order to properly evaluate the premium. That's that gray line, and the gray line is the premium of blue to red. Red is the price of GBTC, and blue is Bitstamp. The price of Bitstamp properly evaluated under the same decay for anyway. If you're a serious trader, you'll figure this out on your own. All right, let's talk about the markets. Ooh, the dollar. Damn. Dollar took a hit today, huh? Or this week. Look at that. Look at that. This must have just happened. Off the Fed call? No, day after. Look at that. Okay, so the dollar hits an aggressive 13 with a 9 today. On a weekly scale, we have a combo 13 with a monster reversal candle. Now, again, go to your favorite gloom and doomer, and if he tells you the dollar is going to collapse because of what happened, your gloom and doomer is crazy. The dollar is at its highest value since 3 years ago. We just hit a 3-year high. Do you understand what that means? That means that over the last 3 years, the US dollar has done better than other currencies, right? We are at a 3-year high in the dollar, okay? 3-year high. Now, we still have a little while to go to get to the decade high. Very unlikely we're going to get to it this year. We'd have to go all the way to 104. That's not likely. And I have no idea what happened yesterday and today that's causing the dollar to drop. That means the euro is kind of surviving right now. But it's on the verge of breaking setup trend. And you only have a few hours to go, guys. Yeah, hey, so someone just asked me to do a live stream with Nick Core. Hey, Nick, I see you in the chat. So, you know, I have to just get a little more organized. I have to hire a producer. Like, I can't, like, hire this many people. Like, I can't afford them all. And I am thinking about turning the show so that it's not just me, so that this show is almost always me and another trader. And, you know, there's like 100 of them on YouTube. I don't really care about. I don't watch them or anything like that. But if there is enough interest, like I'm happy to bring them on and have them show me what they actually trade. And, you know, I can be critical. I can piss them off so they never come back to my show. I don't know. Or I might really like them and they'll come back to my show every week, you know. But I am considering turning this show as to not having like a single trader, but kind of like, you know, Nick comes on to Monday, and then maybe Socrates will come on Tuesday, and then maybe, you know, Joe Sass from Block TV will come on Wednesday, and then I don't know, somebody else. I don't want to name names until they show up, you know. Like so far, the only people I've allowed on the show were like Tyler and Van Zen, and Nick's been on the show before. But I'm considering opening it up to like 10 plus other traders. And it's not going to be like every Monday is Nick Core or like whatever. It's going to be kind of random. So it's something to consider. I don't know. Well, I'll ask Murad. I'm sure he's busy, you know, launching Adaptive and stuff. I've been chatting with him a little bit. But yeah, so Nick, I'm definitely going to have you on again. Yeah, I mean, if you're still on, I mean, I can send you the link now if you want to join since you're home. But I did want to talk about traditional markets. So I'll shoot over the link to you, but the market's already closing, so oh well. Sorry, guys. Oh, just pasted the number of the GBTC deflator. Hold on, I have to get the link for you. All right, hold on, guys. Be right back. How the hell? Like once you already there it is. Like once you already start the stream, it becomes problematic to find the link. All right. All right, if you want to jump on now or a little bit later, Nick, go for it. I don't know if I'll do a show tomorrow, but maybe we'll coordinate. All right. The euro just hit a 2-year low. Jesus. That's not good, guys. Not good. you rallied a little bit. Like I don't think, I'm still bullish the dollar. Yes, it's a reversal candle, but maybe it'll reverse the dollar. I don't know, but it's not looking likely. It's just not. I know it's a combo 13. I know it followed the sequential 13, but there is another 9 here, and we did break resistance here. Yeah, Nick, I'll be on another 30 minutes. I want to talk about traditional markets. Okay, that's the euro. All right, done. Gold. Well, the dollar took a nosedive, so obviously gold's going to shoot up. That's perfectly normal. I still have my gold coins. I hodled those too, but I am looking to time my gold exit. I'm definitely looking to time my silver exit. If that sucker goes above $25, I am all out of silver completely. And I'll be very happy I got out of that monster break even. Actually, it'll be a little bit above break even if it breaks $25. Actually, it'll be nicely break even. It'll be nicely in the green if it goes above $25. Okay, oil, don't care. What is this? Oh, it's the 10-minute CME. No, I don't care for that either. Daily CME futures, not CME, sorry. ES futures on the CME. So the stock market has not been doing well the last 2 days, ever since the Fed call. Again, I'm not exactly sure what was said. I don't even know if they lowered rates or not. Again, I'm not actively trading, and I'm a TA guy. So all I need to know is this: when is the announcement, and I tighten up my stop losses or I stay out of the market. I reevaluate a couple of days later, and then I let TA be the judge. Now, the S&P is taking a little bit of a hit. Yesterday must have been one crazy day. Look how high we went up, and then the big crash. So the stock market is clearly turning here. That's the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly chart in the S&P. The weekly chart had a bad week. What does that mean to me? That means that at the end of the week, like yesterday and today, if I was actively trading, I would have been looking for stocks that are hitting 9 sells in order to put the odds in my favor. Okay. How many viewers we got? Got 800. All right, let's talk about some of these stocks. I mean, this show could be done all day. Now, I really want to go to Lyft. That's the first thing we're doing. First thing we're going to is Lyft. Lyft had a beautiful 9 sell. Like I told you guys at the time, I did not get a chance to buy Lyft at the low. So the best option is, if you can't buy Lyft at the low, you sell Lyft at the high. And this 9 gave you the perfect opportunity to sell Lyft at the high. This 9 has now completed. Lyft fell 16% from top to bottom. It has now given you a 9 buying opportunity, but the market is not looking very strong. I would not have been buying, I might have been buying Lyft today only if it reversed at 10 or 11 a.m. There's also earnings coming up. Ideally, I want to buy Lyft on Monday if it's breaking the top of this candle. I want this reversal candle to be a confirmation. We also broke setup trend. By breaking setup trend, it is very likely Lyft will have a 1 to 4 candle rally and then more downside into the countdown phase. And I might be able to still pick it up, you know, in my $30 or $40 range. Other stocks, there's just so many. I'm eyeing this, okay? The person that, again, I don't want to name names. So Z, if you're watching, I think when I typed the ticker for you, I typed JIMA. So my bad on that. It's JMIA. And this is another recent IPO that did really well off the IPO. And it had 1.9 over here. and it's had another 9 here. It's coming up on another 9 on Monday. And this thing was very, very promising. I mean, the stock off of IPO went to $50, and it is now trading or about to start trading at 15. This I'm interested in. You know, I might even wait for the combo 13. But if this is this is supposed to be a decent company, it just got mispriced at the IPO, no different than Facebook. Okay, so these are the kinds of stocks where, you know, the early investors got a chance to get out nicely. The early people jumping in on this already got wrecked. The wave of secondhand people saying, oh my God, I get to buy it at $20, 20 something, they are getting wrecked now. And when they capitulate, that's when I become interested in buying a stock like this, okay? Now, this is not a one-hit wonder like a GoPro or a Fitbit, even though GoPro is, you know, coming back a little bit with their products. I'm seeing more and more GoPros again. And wow, that is a nice capitulation right there. Did I mention GoPro? Did we hit anything sequential? There's the 9 on GoPro. So here's our weekly 9 on GoPro. I'm actually going to go to the notifications, to the alerts. I think I said something about that. By the way, the alerts will only be free for another month. Those of you, there's like 4,000 people in the Telegram channel. That's going to be a subscription service going forward. I'm going to put out a questionnaire for you guys in there soon. By the way, you guys should have gotten, those of you that are on my mailing list, you should have gotten an email blast like in the last 24 hours. And I don't do them often. You're not going to get more than 2 a week. And I haven't done one in like months. So I want to see if GoPro was mentioned in my notifications and when. GPro. All right, here we go. So on Monday, I'm going to read what I wrote. So on Monday, I made a comment about the GoPro chart, and here's what I wrote. If it wasn't for earnings August 1st, I would say this is a nice low-risk buy for GoPro. People seem to love the new cameras, and there is only so far this stock can fall. If it falls below $4 again, it might be bought out for its IP, intellectual property, by a bigger company. It's generally volatile on earnings, but not so much in the last year. Might be a low-risk options play on this one as well for those that know how to trade options. So this was somewhat volatile on earnings this time. And unfortunately, this is only a 3 down. I mean, there's only so far GoPro can fall, right? It's approaching all-time lows for a stock that at one point was $100 a share, okay? Now, this is a legitimate company. This isn't a shitcoin. You know, they have a product. This product sells. This product, I'm sure, has some intellectual property behind it, because I remember how hyped up people keep asking me about Crown. Guys, I don't know him. I've watched a total of 10 minutes, so I have absolutely no opinion. And the 10 minutes that I watched was when he was on the Hyperwave channel, or I wouldn't even know he exists at all because I don't watch other YouTubers. I don't know how many times I can tell people that I don't watch other traders. I have gone beyond watching other traders 8-9 years ago when I started making my own decisions and only my own decisions. Please stop asking me about other traders. I don't know what they're doing because I don't pay attention. I don't need to. It's not my job. I don't know how many times I can explain the same thing. And my job is to teach you not to watch other traders. Learn to trade. Come up with your own strategy. Come up with your own indicators. If you can't come up with your own indicators, come up with a combination of indicators that already exist. Come up with a plan. Trade that plan. So GoPro is on a weekly 9. This is a terrible looking candle. I would wait a little bit and look to time the bounce. There's very little downside here on a $4 stock. Decent upside. I mean, the last time this thing went below $4, it went up almost 100%. So this is not bad. You know, that's not bad. You can definitely time these bounces on GoPro. Oh, Nick's here. Hey, man. Oh, wait. I don't have my audio set. Wait. Hold on.
I can hear you.
All right. Say something.
Testing.
Got it.
Okay. How's it going?
Oh, nice background.
Thank you. Thought it was appropriate. Since
Well,
everybody's chasing the moon.
hold on. How about this? Say something.
Testing.
Okay, we're back. Nice background. Now I can hear you.
Thank you. It's the moon we're all shooting for and hoping for.
Your moon needs like a Bitcoin logo in it.
Wait, hold on. How about this? Like so?
No,
Well, that's not Bitcoin. Never mind. But yeah, I do need some custom backgrounds done.
that's cool, man. I gotta learn how to do that.
Just go into your settings on Zoom. You got to have a green screen up or like a solid color. And you can identify the solid color.
I need a solid background behind me.
Yeah, green works the best. But with Zoom, any kind of color, and then you just identify the color and then change it to whatever image you want.
Oh man, I gotta learn to do that.
Yep, pretty simple with Zoom. Don't need OBS or anything like that.
Wow. All right, cool. So I gotta buy like a giant green screen that I would drag out behind me.
I see the Bitcoin staff in the background there from
Yeah.
The Unconfiscatable conference.
Yeah, from Unconfiscatable. It's the same one that Tyler was holding, though I think he has one of his. I'm not sure. Actually, that might be that might be the one. I don't think Tyler took one back with him.
How many
he
were
might
there?
have.
How many was there?
There was like 2. There was 2 big ones. That's one of the big ones. And there was a small one that was given to Saifedean. And there were 2 big ones. I forgot who got the other one. But I got one.
Nice.
Okay. Let's get back to the markets here. How you been, man?
Been good.
You know
Really
what?
good.
Why don't you
Busy.
throw screen share on? We're going to take a break from traditional markets. We're going to take... Oh, you know what? Before you do that, we got 800 people watching. I just want to... I'll give the screen share to you in a second. I was going to talk about... Wow, I can do these shows like forever. I was going to talk about all of these trading books that I have behind me because I am going to do an options course. And so these are my options notes, basically. Look at this thing.
Your notes?
For options trading.
Right.
I got to turn this into a webinar. And I hope I can do it I'm going to need like a week of isolation to turn this into a webinar. And then I hope I can teach it all in 2 days because options trading is no joke.
How come it's all printed instead of like digital? Wouldn't that save you some time?
How come this is printed? Because this is from 2003.
Oh, so yeah, back
Yeah.
when Kinko's was around.
Exactly. This is why it's printed and not digital because we're talking over 15 years ago. And I have 2 options books in my house. Yeah, so this is How I Trade Options by Don Najarian. I've read this one. But it's not really, it's not technical. Like it's not how to trade options technically. It's more like how to trade options in the pit, which doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not sure how relevant this is at all. It wasn't really what I needed at the time because I wasn't going to trade them in the pit anyway. And I have options for beginners. This I never read, but this looks like it would have been a good read. But by the time I started looking at this book, I already had my option strategies, so I kind of didn't bother. And then, boy, active portfolio management, Financial Times series, and of course, options, futures, and other derivatives. But those are all more engineering books than TA books.
Are you going to do an options course in your Bali Financial Summit in October?
I don't know what I'm going to do there. It really depends on who's coming and what is needed. And speaking of that, that's what I was going to bring up on screen share. Someone says Ugly. No, Ugly made the staffs, and I think he gave them away. I'm sure he kept one for himself, but he gave the other staffs away, the Bitcoin standard bearer staffs. So I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to do a quick shilling for our conferences. Now, the one coming up is the Bali Financial Summit. And I'm starting to put, profile names. Ugly is definitely coming. And Van Zandt is definitely coming.
By the way, it looks like when we last talked, I wasn't sure if I could be able to make it or not. It looks like I will be able to talk to you after the show.
All right, we'll talk offline about this. Yeah, it looks like Nick will make it, so we'll throw his picture in here. I have a couple of guys, like people are registering, and if a person registers is someone that is known in the space, and it might be someone you want to meet, we'll throw their picture on there as well. I mean, Leah's coming. Leah's not going to be educating on trading, obviously, but she will be there. She's not TA. She's not an active trader. But Ugly is, Van Zandt is, Nick, you are. And I'm in talks with several other people, including Willy Woo and a few others. We'll see who we can get. But you will get all of my webinars with registration. And I'm debating if I will give away the options webinar with registration, because now you add up the value of all these webinars and it's going to add up to almost a freaking Bitcoin, right? But we'll see how generous I feel. So check it out. It really depends on the dynamic of people there, who's there to learn, who's there to connect with potential hedge funds. I still have to get some hedge funds there. So this is all I am working on. So check that out. And the dates for Unconfiscatable are set. So hopefully you can come out there. That's Vegas. That's closer to home a little bit, right? And you can check out the dates of Unconfiscatable. Registration is coming by end of this month. Those that attended last year will have a heads up to register. I always like to support those that have supported me. This is why you get a discount if you've attended other workshops. Not for the Bali thing, but for workshop to workshop. And those that played in the poker tournament last year and those that attended the conference, you will get a heads up for the early bird pricing special before those that did not show up. So keep an eye on those emails, keep an eye on those newsletters. And your registration should already be in our database from last year. So therefore, when you register in the first week or so, and you've attended before, you get like a little discount. I haven't spoken to Doug Polk. I'd like to have him there, even if he doesn't want to play anymore. We'll see. And of course, there will be a carnivory there.
What did he quit poker?
I haven't had a chance to talk to him about that yet, but he had this, he wrote a tweet where he said that, it's just, I don't want to misquote him, but like either it was anxiety or it just, he wasn't feeling right anymore. And it's just like, life's a bit, like I don't blame him, right? Look, I've traded for so long and I'm really enjoying this break of not trading. Like just like Doug, I'm sure is really enjoying this break of not playing poker. That break might last the rest of his lifetime, or he may come back to it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back to active trading when I'm done, doing my other stuff. All right, I'll hand off screen share to you, and we'll take a look at your charts on Bitcoin, Nick, and then we'll get back to traditional markets.
Okay.
How do I stop my screen share? There we go. All right, go for it.
All right, so a couple things going on. Well, really one thing going on right now. Real quick, I'm going to post this in chat if this is okay with you, Tone. It's analysis I did a few days ago.
You're an admin, man. You have the green light to post whatever you like.
Okay. Basically, it went through the fact that we were not in any confirmation of any kind of trend bias at this point when I published it, and went through a couple scenarios, what we're looking at. And scenario 2, which I was identifying as the most likely, seems to be the case. I won't go through all this on the show. If you want to read the scenarios, then go for it. But scenario 2, scenario 3 is still in play, which is bullish. Scenario 2, which I'm going to get into, and why this appears more like a scenario 2, appears like we have further downside, but we're not quite done with this rally, and how I'm trading it. Exactly how I stay profitable through all 3 scenarios. But scenario 2 is what's taking place at the moment. And to summarize it, we had one full correction here confirmed. The only part it did correct, though, was this last move up here. We hit a common retrace point, the 618 there. The question becomes, are we going to correct this entire move upwards? Place it here on the daily here. This entire, excuse me, over here. This entire move upwards. And I still believe we will. Going back.
Well, what is your definition of correct the entire move upwards? Like down to 62%? Like Fibonacci wise? Like what's your definition of?
Yeah, a common correction point. I mean, really, we've only hit this 2-3, not even the 3-8, which really is not a correction at all. It's a pullback, but in the main scheme of things, this giant run up, we haven't really cooled it off at all. It's
Hold on a second.
Pullback so far.
I want to double check that. So, yeah, so here's the thing. I do my Fibonacci's differently.
Okay.
So, I use log scale.
So do I.
But I have the 38% Fibonacci as 9,700. I mean, that's 38% down between 3,000 and 14,000.
The reason why I'm guessing I can't see your screen is because you've identified a different swing low than I have. I've identified the swing low as the actual bottom.
No, so did I.
There at 31.22. Do you have the option on for log scale?
Yeah, so we're doing something differently. If you double click inside your Fibonacci's.
Yes, I'm on log scale, man. Fib levels based on log scale.
No. You want? I have that unchecked. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. If you're on log, yeah, click log scale on that.
No, I don't want to. I actually had this debate with people, so maybe we can figure out what the right way to do it is, right? I mean, look, if you take 13,880 and you subtract 3,100 from it, right? You're basically at around 10 grand. 32% of 10 grand is a drop of a little over 3,000. Drop 3,000 from 13,088, and we've broken the 38% Fibonacci. Sorry, that's 4,000, right? So to me, even though I'm looking at a chart in log scale, I don't have my Fibonacci's in log. I still have my Fibonacci in a linear way. Nope, that didn't do it. You want to hit OK, not
no. I know. I took it off of excuse me. I took it off of log and then took off the fib off of log, and I can see your fib point. But
right. So
I'm going to chart it on log.
Yeah, so I'm still, like, even though my chart is log, my fibs are not in log scale because, like, to me, fibs should not be in log scale. Like, I don't understand fibs in log scale because to me, fibs are always in, should be in linear scale because it's 38% of, of prices, not like log version of those prices. The only reason why I use logs in my charts is so that I can see the chart, on a monitor, because looking at Bitcoin in without log, you can't see anything, right? It just goes up too fast. And the other reason I look at log scale is so that I can see proportionally what a 10% move was down here versus a 10% move up here. But I have no intention of converting my fibs into logs because that just doesn't make logical sense to me unless someone can tell me why that makes sense.
It's probably a whole nother argument that would take quite a bit of time, but okay, fine. Let's just agree on this then, that we didn't hit a common retrace point that we typically see in a correction, whether it's log or not.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you finish from here, but like according to my fibs, we've passed the 38. We've hit the 38%, and but on yours, as for it to go. All right, I'll leave it be. My own people are yelling at me to just let you talk.
I'll say this: I'm doing, as you know, some algo building and in back testing, and trying out different scenarios, finding log and this new feature that allowing us to do log Fibonacci on here has been more accurate for measuring trend moves. But yeah, it's, again, that's probably a whole nother debate at the moment. Okay, so the way I have it and the way I covered it in there is, so far we really only corrected this last move up. We do have a completed correction here, which then leaves the option open for a double combination correction or a much deeper correction. In that analysis, I went over what invalidates and validates a deeper correction. And basically at this point, if we get a daily swing high, confirmed swing high. So for those of you guys that don't know, we need a candle close and then 2 candles below it loosely to confirm a swing high. If we get it anywhere below this 1.618 Fibonacci here in pink, then I'm looking for further downside. And at that point, I'll be looking at my targets, but I kind of speculated here in the analysis that we end roughly around 11,207 if this is the case. We get a swing high somewhere up here. Reason being is if this is not impulsive or this is not a rally, it would be another corrective move, correcting these oversold conditions temporarily. And a common spot would be the equal length of A here, or the first corrective move up, which is 1, which also meets some rules that I get into in the analysis for another drive down and a reversal point to combine corrective structures. So that being said, on a short time frame, I'm looking for a pullback here. Say roughly there. This wick I think was trash. Looking at volume in it, it didn't look true, and it didn't look like a real true trading range on that. I'm still debating on whether I need to have this fib level and any other analysis on that or not, but it looks like this was just temporary movement. So anyway, going back to this, let me throw on the VPBR because it shows really good levels. Breaking 10 again, and again, the entire market is going to be screaming dead cat bounce or fake out or whatever, and then filling shorts around here, and that's fine from a larger time frame perspective. But I still expect this to make another leg up short term to approximately this 0.5 yellow Fibonacci here, 11,200, we'll say, which meets roughly around there. But again, I won't be opening up a short because, as I detailed in here, I wasn't in any kind of position right here until it broke into a confirmation zone. And now that we have rallied upwards, it appears that these two scenarios, which are A, we're going to rally up to approximately 11,200 or so, then correct back down to around 7,500 or so. And it's kind of speculative right now to say exactly where we'll land. Really, we need to have the swing high printed on here before I'll say, you know, we're definitely going down into this range or not. Once we get the swing high, which is confirmation for me, then I can place my fib level and identify where I'll be closing my short out. But I did speculate a little bit based off of that, and let me find it here.
Yeah, that would really conflict with what I see in the markets, because if we get to that 11,200 area, I mean, it depends on how we get there and when we get there, but price-wise, that's when I start to lean bullish. But it seems like that's where you're going to start to lean bearish.
Again, it's based on the swing high. I'm not going to close out any kind of long position or flip to a short until we see a daily swing high, because this whole entire corrective pattern. But anyway, around 7,300, if we were speculating that it ended here at the 0.5.
This is where our analysis differ, because to me, a swing high above that high, you know, tells me that the market is pretty bullish. I'm expecting a lower high to reverse to the downside. Like, I almost want to see a giant descending triangle start to form over the next 2 months. So I need this to be the high, like today should have been the high based on what I'm looking at. So I think this was it. If we go much higher than this, then we could surpass that prior swing high. And now I'm anticipating more upside. So I'm just saying how our analysis differ.
So a lot of people don't understand, and maybe you do, that analysis is never definite, and there's always a possibility that you're wrong on it, right?
Oh, of course. Well, one of us clearly will be on this one, right? It's been me most of the year.
Well, what I'm trying to explain to you is that those two scenarios, as I see it, and for everybody in the chat that's saying, wow, this guy is wrong, go read it before you do some side share analysis in the chat. But basically, this entire structure right here appears corrective to me. Looking at volume, which I got into there on the OBV, this was weak coming out of and not impulsive. So once a daily, and seeing as, back to my point that analysis is never definite, I detail how I pull along in here, and then without closing it at the potential area that it will reverse, I had a trailing stop based on the ATR. And that's in case this is impulsive from here and it does go beyond this 11,200, at least I'm in my trade still. Now back to where I flip short, this entire corrective structure, its swings are visible here on the daily. So what I'm looking for is a swing high on the daily before I do flip short, because I do think this area that you're looking at is going to be really high potential for reversal. But at the same time, I don't want to be caught in a short when we are rallying out of there. I don't so much think that claiming 11,200 would be completely bullish. Again, I think this is a larger corrective structure as of now because these don't appear impulsive, but I do think we're going to rally up into that area of 11,200. And we shall find out then.
All right. Anything else you want to say about other markets?
No.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. No, that was definitely good because, like I said earlier, I am considering, bringing on a lot more traders with different opinions than mine on the market. So I guess that's good for everyone to see the opinions. That show we did, has Bitcoin price bottomed with Willy Woo and Van Zandt. I mean, that's like my top 5 most watched shows, and it was really good. You got a difference of opinions, and you saw what worked out, and clearly they did well with their long trades coming out of April and stuff like that. All right, so I'm going to get back to the traditional markets. I do want to cover a little bit of that. Nick, I don't know if you've been paying attention to that alert Telegram group that I have with sequential.
No, it's so toxic in there.
No, not that one. No, not that one. The alerts, no one can speak in there except me.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
That's the trade. It's like 4,000 people in there, but it's a channel. It's not a group. So all it is just charts of assets all over the world that are hitting 9s and 13s. That's all it is. And my comment.
Not in that one.
Okay, I'll shoot you the link after.
Okay.
But it has a lot of messages in there too. It's like 10 to 15 a day, but that's because there's like 10 to 15 stocks per day that are hitting 9s that may or may not be tradable. But that's going to become a paid subscription very soon, but for now it's still free. Okay, so I just want to go over to the traditional market. Just want to go through a couple of stocks because the market definitely turned. Here is Amazon on a weekly scale. Once again, the setup trend line, man, like the more I'm watching this, like the more this line just so useful. Though as a day trader, Amazon, it did top on a 9, and Amazon is going to come up in a couple of days on a potential 9 buying opportunity, and professional traders will be eyeing that. Whoa, Google had really good earnings. Apple kind of topped on a 9. It was a weird 9 coming off of earnings with a combo 13. It would have been hard for me to trade it. Like Apple's not that volatile, but yeah, that would have been tough to trade a little bit, even though it was a 9. Netflix is not looking good, even though that's a good candle. You're now in a countdown phase. That was a beautiful reversal off the 9 for a 1 to 4 candle correction. But now it looks like you're going back down. Tesla's earnings were not great. Totally neutral. I would kind of stay away from it. I just saw a notification from Microsoft today in the channel. Must have been a weekly notification. Yep, there it is. A sequential 13 on Microsoft, but there was another countdown in the back end there. I think I put a note in there for this saying that, hey, be careful with shorting a Microsoft here off the sequential 13, but it's still a sequential 13 that could easily turn the market. AMD and NVIDIA have been hot topics. On a weekly scale, nothing interesting. On a daily scale, well, it's definitely bearish, right? Earnings took it down. You've now broken setup trend. Would I have shorted after earnings? Would have been tough because it already fell so much off of earnings. So you might have to let this go, wait for a 9 buying opportunity, and hopefully it will be as good as the last buying opportunity. NVIDIA is not reporting for a couple of weeks. Not looking great, but being supported by setup trend. I'd stay away from it. Not really interested in Ford at the moment. Coming up on a 9 soon, though. Oh, marijuana stock out of Canada. I don't know. I'd stay away from it, even though it's clearly bouncing off of a 9. Don't care about G. Starbucks was interesting. We had a notification, I think, today or yesterday on Starbucks. Was it on a weekly scale? Yeah, it's on a weekly scale. That's not a good-looking 9, followed by a combo 13. Now, there is another count in the background here, but I think Starbucks is... Oh, wait, Nick, feel free to jump in anytime you see a stock that interests you or you want to say something. Okay. So I would be out of Starbucks right now. That was a great week of earnings, but it looks like it definitely wants to pull back a little bit. It's so overextended. Take your profit, come back in. Last time there was a 9, beautiful 1 to 4 candle correction, went into the countdown phase. That countdown phase hit a combo 13. Sequential might still come, but I wouldn't test this combination. No idea what that is. It should probably come off this list. Same with that, whatever that was. I commented on Twitter today. I think it must have been on daily. Yeah. So Twitter hit a 9 on a daily. Now, here, I compared it to this. There was a 9 right here. Man, let me do this. I want that arrow to be bigger. Anyway, so you can see the big earnings bounced us up. We hit a 9 shortly after. That 9 led to a serious correction. And we had a 9 buy over here. We did have a 9 sell, but earnings was still incoming. Now we had a really good earnings on a daily basis, sorry. And we're hitting this 9. Now we can still get a sequential 13 sooner, but I'd respect this 9. I would not be very eager to go long Twitter now and potentially looking at a pullback, at least for 1 to 4 candles in Twitter, especially if the market is weak next week. GoPro I talked about right before you joined. I have a lot of stuff here. Dude, have you been paying attention to the fake Zoom? Oh, you're muted, Nick.
Sorry, I was on mute there. I see you tweeting about it on an occasion and on your show, but I know nothing about it other than it says Zoom Technologies there. That's it. And people are mistaking it.
Yeah, people are mistaking Zoom Technologies. So this stock has been trading between 1 penny and 1/10 of a penny for 5 years until Zoom announced they're going public.
Jeez.
And now,
where's the volume coming from?
What's up?
Where's the majority of the volume coming from? Do you know? That's what I'd be interested to know, if it's retail or
it's got to be
bigger
retail.
Guys being dumb.
I mean, at this point, you're almost invested in this company to do well, right? You're almost.
This company's just loving it too. Probably not saying a word.
I know. Talk about like, damn. It's amazing. Like you think they would have learned, like over here when it popped to like $6 and then fell down to $1, but then it rallied to 9.
Jeez.
Oh God.
Wait, when did Zoom go public? What date?
Zoom went public on April 18th.
Huh, interesting.
This stock started pumping on about a month earlier, around March 15. So a month before Zoom went public, and Zoom went public right here at the high, basically. Like I think the day before Zoom went public, people realized that that they've been investing in the wrong stock. So in the 30 days leading up to Zoom's IPO, this thing went from less than a penny to $6.
Jeez, less than a penny to $6. Have you done any like fundamental research on it? Like perhaps it is like actually real, and it may be like amplified by the fact that it has Zoom in the name, but there might actually be something going on with the company?
I have not, but it's kind of hilarious.
I'm going to take a look while you look at this. Zoom Technologies, right?
Yeah, ZOOM ticker. It's been around since the 90s. I'm pretty sure it was long before Zoom was even thought of.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Zoom Group. No, that's not it. Ethical hacking.
It's been around since 1990.
Well, there's a Market Watch article on it. Zoom Technologies soared 56,000% in the past 30 days.
Right. Square. Let's take a look. Oh, Square hit a 9 this week. And I'm sure we notified earlier in the week, maybe. Square might not be on our list, but we can only look at so many stocks on a manual basis. Square reversed straight off this weekly 9. Wow, was there a daily 9 this week? Oh, it was earnings. Would have been hard to trade. There was a 913 right at the high, but that high was broken the day before earnings. Very hard to trade, but looks really cool for sequential. Could have gone the other way, of course, with earnings. So that's why you got to be careful with trading earnings.
So by the way, so Zoom Technologies hasn't filed a revenue report since 2011. And in 2011, they filed with the SEC to end as a publicly listed company, but they still are publicly listed. So I don't know what's going on there, but they clearly have been trying not to be traded publicly.
Well, scam of the year over everything in crypto, apparently.
Yeah, it appears nobody can contact them too. Everybody's been trying to contact them. So there's definitely some kind of accidental buying going on with that.
Oh boy. Boeing, well, it did top on a 9 the week before the crash, ironically, somewhat, for sequential. Talked about JMIA earlier. Talked about Lyft earlier. Ooh, Uber does not look good. That definitely broke down that triangle. Those that took the short trade of sequential with the moving averages are doing well. I would wait for the 9 to come. Talked about Zooms. Hey, look at Pinterest. Reported good earnings. Reversal candle on a 9. If the market is weak, this is a high probability that Pinterest will close this gap. This is a good exit opportunity for those that have been holding Pinterest. I don't know if I'd short, but definitely take profit. Wow, nice bounce. Again, these 9s on earnings, it's just, unfortunate. I mean, I would take the options play here, and I will be teaching options in a couple of weeks. So you could have definitely skewed your options for earnings to the upside because of the 9. I've never actually implemented that strategy, but if I was actively trading right now, that's what I would be building right now. I don't really care about Galaxy. Nick, what are you driving these days? If you want to say publicly.
Yeah, so I'm actually driving a normal, everyday Mercedes sedan right now. Nothing fancy. Maybe when the bull market starts back up, then we'll start getting into all the fancy cars again. But for now, and where I live currently too, it just doesn't make sense to be driving around a $250,000 car or whatever. But I should be out in LA soon, and maybe need something that fits.
LA and South Florida are definitely markets for that.
Yeah, definitely. And not where I'm at. I'm okay with the sedan right now. I'm not driving a lot anyway. These last few months, I've been in front of my computer more than ever since probably 2016. So it doesn't matter at this point.
All right. So we have been looking at Ferrari. Ferrari had a weird top. I really expected this 913 weekly to be a top in Ferrari because the stock has gone up so much. And my trade would have gotten stopped out because you can see 2 weeks later, we had a green 2 go above the 1, go above the 9, both on the close and the swing high. So this would have, gotten me out of the trade, and then I probably would have missed out. But, the spirit of this signal calling a top was there, but the execution would have lost me money. And you know what? It happens.
Can you throw the OBV on that and then drop it down to the daily? I just want to see what happened. Some kind of volume indicator. I want to see what's happened there.
I have these 4. I can just add.
Yeah, the CMF. Yeah.
I can.
OBV is pretty good for cumulative. It's right there on the right. You have it starred actually in your favorites.
Yep, there it is. Okay.
And then,
so that showed up at the bottom. So this is the weekly OBV. So that topped out pretty damn high.
Can I see it on the daily?
On a daily.
Just want to see what happened there. If volume was actually true or not.
God, I hate that color. Hold on. Actually, I like the color. It just doesn't make sense for charts.
When are you going to go to dark charts instead of these
bright
what?
I
White
tried,
charts?
Man. I tried. I can't.
Creature habit.
Yeah. I can do it. And the thing is, when I trade on interactive brokers, it's a default dark environment. and I can trade there, but I don't do analytics there, right? Like I don't mind trading in a dark environment. I just can't do my analytics there. So there's your OBV.
Yeah.
On
I
wow,
was
that
just
one.
more
Pretty
looking
high.
at that run up before it, because it did look like it was going to reverse there, and then had 2 weeks of a rally. So I was wondering what exactly happened there, but it appears
Yeah, see right here, this is where I thought the top would be. And then like a week and a half later, it topped out a little bit higher and the OBV was rising throughout that time, basically still.
Yeah.
But look at your CMF. That would have been the smoking gun. Look, your CMF topped out like here.
Can I give you access to one volume indicator real quick, and then you throw it on there?
Yeah.
It'll take me 1 second.
Your
Your trading view is tone vase, right? Just tone vase.
Yeah. Like, I wish I could like get rid of these without like actually like closing them, but
okay, go to your invite only scripts. So this volume measures major volume spikes in real time, if they happen, because sometimes you get moves in markets.
Which one is it? Oh, there.
Yeah, it's not showing. Maybe you got to refresh or something. It's probably what it is. It's in your notifications now, I'm sure.
Is it here? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's just the write up on it. But if you want to,
it should be here. So it should be here now.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna close these then.
Then back to the weekly.
Okay, what are we looking at here? Oh, you want to be on a weekly?
Yeah, I wanted to just look at that spike again where it looked like it was topped out, but there was nothing major on it.
Nothing going on. Yeah.
Yeah. That indicator will basically measure when there is large amounts of volume going in. And the way you use it is if there's no swing highs or swing lows taken out with it, but you're seeing these major spikes or major positions filled, then you would base your trade and react off of that with other analysis. But there was no major spikes there. It was actually pretty flat.
Wow, huge spike down here. September.
Yep. But the way I'd interpret that is it got bought up pretty quick. You can see how the blue takes it right back. And then there's even bigger spikes that will turn orange for sell, and then like a teal for buys. And it's been working really well in crypto markets. It does work on all markets, but yeah, you can see like a spike there. If you scroll back a little bit on Ferrari, see if that was prior to the breakout. Yep.
Oh yeah, well this is the daily now. Well, this is also earnings related.
Yep.
But like for me, the only indicator that would have been like a smoking gun and left me confident in the short trade over here is as we're making higher, I mean the CMF
is divergent.
It's getting destroyed, and it's even in the red. It's like you're making a new high both on a closing level and swing high, and your CMF has gone from positive to negative.
Yeah.
That's really bad. That's straight up divergence right there that you want to pay attention to.
One thing I've been playing around with the CMF is I'll measure a prior trend, how many candles it is, and then change the length there that you had pulled up based on that trend. And because I've noticed sometimes the CMF will appear divergent, area with breaks, I think is what you're looking for. Yeah, or area.
I really wish it would be like on stock charts, like I'm used to it from back in the day, where the upper is green and the lower is red.
You can change that.
No, you need a custom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like one line of code in Pine.
Yeah, I know, but it's one line of code I gotta spend a whole day trying to figure out how to do.
Just message me. I can have it done in like 5 minutes. But yeah, I feel you on that.
But yes, so that's that's the Q on Ferrari there. That's pretty much it. Yeah, so Titan, I've been waiting for this to hit new lows, and it finally did. Man, this was I referred to this as the trade of the decade when it happened. So pretty much on this day, I called this the short of the decade because it was a 9 on a daily with a 913 on a weekly and a 913 on a monthly, all like at the same time. And this bad boy is now down 21%. Unfortunately, it's a stock out of India. So you better have access to the Indian markets to trade it.
What do they do?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. This is why I don't like stocks and trading stocks, because then you have to add fundamental research to the technicals of it. And I mean, in the end, technicals are going to outplay, but prefer just to keep it all technical.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. No, but also the person that found that stock that trades sequential religiously is in India. So he trades it on the Indian markets. Wow, this earnings keeps jumping around. Either TradingView keeps messing up or something's going on. So I really like this 9 buying opportunity, but with earnings coming, I threw up an options idea. So I'm actually going to pay attention to this. And I think this is another one where I threw up an options idea. I got to double check what the hell happened there. Yeah, I got to double check what I wrote. Let me see. Hold on. I want to look this up. Nick, you know options or no?
I do, but it's been many years since I've traded any options.
I want to see what I wrote about this stock in the alerts. Oh, since I'm here, I'll shoot over the link. I'll put it in the chat. I mean, guys, here's the link for the alerts. It's still free for the rest of the month. And Nick, it's in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
You may want to still kind of mute it, probably, but
yeah, I've got so many channels in there.
It's still a lot, but there's only like 2 people typing in here, me and the person that posts the charts up, and that's it. No one else has permission to write. So I'm gonna search for HFC because once I give my commentary, I kind of forget what I actually wrote. Okay, here we go. I wrote this on what day? There's a lot that day. I think it was before earnings. Wednesday, July 31st is when I wrote it. Okay. So this is Wednesday, July 31st. So I wrote this off of this 9. And what do I write? I like the chart, but I would never short this off this 9 because earnings is the next day. So I'm looking for at-the-money put options for $2, but those would have been too risky. So for adding, you do a September 50 put plus a 55 call. And the 55 call did not get you in the money, but there was a 50 put, and that cost you 3. So if this thing continues to go down, after earnings and closes the gap and goes below 50, then this trade could still be salvageable. But right now, it would not have worked out. I actually want to see what those options are worth right now. The implied volatility was also low. Now, on the day of earnings, when the stock was trading at above $54, probably could have exited the options for a profit. So I have a feeling this trade would have been profitable at one point the following day. And with options, that's not bad, considering the spreads. But right now, this trade would be in the red, and I would probably be looking to exit. But if this gap closes, this can still pull back a little bit because I really like this 9, the way it worked out. And we're back under the declining long-term moving average. All right, I think I'm good. I think I'm done. This video is already gone for an hour and a half, so that's plenty of time.
When's your next travel schedule? Or did you cover that already?
Oh man, you know what? Not really, but I'm gonna. No, I'm gonna update my calendar. I'm not really going far. I'm only going to Toronto and Texas. In August, and then mid-September, I'm gonna. Mid-September, I'm gonna fly out to Europe. Interesting comment. Says Tone is too set in his ways, doesn't adapt or evolve much. I don't need to. I've had plenty of profitable strategies that continue to work today. And they were keeping me busy trading them. There's really, and those strategies were direction neutral. I will improve on what I already know. There's really no reason for me to learn every technical analysis play in the book, because I did that 15 years ago. I learned as much as I could. I formulated what works, and now I teach what I know. Like, there's no reason for me to learn new stuff unless you never hear from me again, right? Because if I'm learning, I can't teach what I know. Like, I can't replicate myself into 4 people. So those that sit at home and trade have the time to learn new stuff if they want to. But many people have come up with profitable strategies, and that's what they will continue to use in order to make more money. Nick, your thoughts on the subject?
I'll say this. I use different forms of analysis based on what's going on in the market. Sometimes I'll revert to just pure price action, naked charts. It just depends on the scenario. Sometimes I will use Elliott waves, especially when we're in corrective patterns. Sometimes I'm going off of purely just volume analysis and Ichimoku. So depending on what the market is doing and how I find the best conclusion to what the market is doing, I base my analysis off of that. That being said, I'm still learning to this day new techniques that could potentially be applied to TA, and TA will forever continue to grow in the different styles. You can't know it all, but some people are comfortable and with the conclusions they form off of the style of TA they do, and other people need more, exactness. It just really depends on your trading style and your analysis style, and I don't think there's a wrong or right way. I tweeted a joke the other day about basic math. Trader A is 26 plus 24 equals 50. Trader 2, does some crazy route to invalidate that 50, and Trader 3 comes to the same conclusion. Point is, there's different forms of analysis and different ways to do it, and it's just whatever you're comfortable with. And yeah, that's it. TA is not absolute; it's variable. And really, if you want to become profitable, you need to understand that it's variable, and trading is conditionally triggered off of those variables of the analysis when they're invalidated or confirmed.
There's nothing interesting in LK. Someone asked me to look at the stock. There's nothing interesting here. This 9 didn't come at the top, and it didn't hold as a 9, so it's not interesting. All right, one more look at Bitcoin, see if it moved at all since we've been doing the show for the last hour. The 12-hour is on a 9. That's going to be confirmed in about 3 hours, unless we crash real hard. And I don't know. I think we short-term topped right here. Even though the daily potentially has more upside and the weekly is neutral, I just think that this combination of resistance is not going to be easy to crack. If we do, then we're going way higher. And that's where I think that if we can close above 11,000, close above this moving average, close above setup trend, and close above this prior swing high, to me, that's pretty bullish on longer term time frames.
Closing on the daily, right, is what you're referring to?
But everything's sub daily right now. Daily is, yeah, it looks like it reversed. Like, I really think we've topped. And the more likely scenario here now is we turn. Now, if I was actively trading, I would be looking to short with a stop loss at 10,800. Like, I know when I'm wrong on this short. I'm wrong if we go above this setup trend line and break it. So this becomes, a low risk short, high risk buy right now. And,
Question: Would you be shorting now, or would you wait for another candle to print the swing high, or two more candles?
At this point, I would probably wait for confirmation. But if I was paying attention this morning, when it was getting rejected right off of that dot, and right as it was, making a bullish candle on this 9, and the 4-hour was touching, this moving average, and the 15-minute was printing its 9. Like, if I was present in this vicinity, like if I had caught the short above 10,500, I probably would have done it. Now, I potentially would wait for tomorrow. Like, if you didn't catch the short right away, I'd rather, at that point, I want to wait for confirmation. So had I caught it at like 10,006-ish, I would have pulled the trigger. Right now, I'd probably wait. I mean, there was enough on the lower level timeframes to tell you that it's topping. And I do respect that setup trend line on a daily that I've talked about for the last 3 videos. Now I'd want to wait to break this candle's low tomorrow. Because what would happen now is, had I taken that short trade at 10,006, I would already have a break-even stop. So if it goes back up, I don't lose anything. But if I short now, I have to set the stop loss like above the swing high at like 10.7.5. And that creates risk. Especially now, if I look at that 15-minute, it's coming up on its setup trend line, and we might have bounced from it already. So we can easily bounce back up to this area here, which is still below the break even had I taken the 10.6 short. So my stop loss right now would be around just under 10,600 had this trade been already profitable. But right now, I think we can go back up to like 10.5 before more downside. But I do think we've topped. All right, that's it, guys. I'm going to stop screen share. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, once again, hey, Unconfiscatable, 20 to 23 of February. And it'll be very similar to last year. Registration's not open yet. Also, check out the Financial Summit, where your entry fee includes all of my webinars. I'll let you know about the options one, I guess, after I teach it in August. That's coming up at the end of August. And we're going to add more pictures here of those who are coming. Hopefully, Nick will be there as well. He's muted, but that's okay.
No, I'm here. I'm just trying not to interrupt you. You had paused there after that analysis. I didn't know if you were waiting for me to speak or what.
Yeah, no. I said hopefully you'll make it to Bali as well.
Right.
It would be great. And it's more of there'll be an educational component if enough people are going there for education. But if all the people are going there are already serious traders, it's going to be more like a networking event where we can all work together in an unscripted way and come up with some good trading strategies for the future and just bounce ideas off each other. I mean, that's what I'm really looking forward to. So if only, experienced traders sign up, there may not be that much education going on. But if people sign up that are looking for the educational side of the event, we'll certainly provide that as well. It's still, the agenda is still somewhat flexible, dependent on who's actually coming to this.
I'm just looking forward to the beaches.
Oh, yeah, it'll be great. It'll be absolutely, there'll definitely be time for that, considering this is going to be a 6-day event. All right, guys, That's it. Check out the webinars. I got one on this Sunday, so in 2 days, on money management, position sizing, risk management. Oops, clicked the wrong thing. And that's in the workshop section. The options one is coming up. I'll probably talk about that much more later next week. It will be a 2-day full-blown. I gotta convert all my notes on options into a webinar and a couple of books as well. So that's going to be a shit ton of work. All right, that's it for me. I'm going to call it a day. And Nick, enjoy the moon.
Great being on. All right, man. Definitely.
Hey, thanks for coming on. I'll have you on more often. I think I might have more other traders on so we can get other opinions. I think that's a good thing. They also use TA that I don't, which is also good. A lot of the TA that you use, I don't. So, that's also good to hear about. All right. I'll talk to you all on the next one, guys.